Hello, Gilbert and I, we're on a nice evening ride on our bicycles. We're out at Kingsburg High School outside the Little Theater. And I thought it'd be a great time to do a little bike overview.
Oh, sorry, I'm playing Pokemon.
You're playing Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
What is this, 2016?
It is.
So yeah, I just thought it'd be really cool to go over our bike setups because we've customized our bikes quite a bit. What are you laughing about now?
I'm not paying attention at all.
Well, I'll go over my bike, and then Gilbert can go over his bike. Okay, so I have a Rad Power bike, specifically the Rad Mission 1. Rad hasn't made a Rad Mission 2 yet, but maybe someday they'll make a Rad Mission 2. But
the high step, right?
And it's the high step. I got tall, long legs, so it works well for me. So yeah, what do you see here?
Well, you got a bunch of accessories on it, but let's talk about the bike first, yeah?
Yeah, the bike has a 500-watt motor, the older Rad battery.
400 watt-hours or whatever.
Yeah.
I can't remember what unit they use. Amp-hour, watt-hour, milliamp-hour. It's
Yeah.
not milliamp-hours.
But I've got a second battery coming. They just were selling the batteries. And yeah, I can ride this to CMAC and back over just under 30 miles in a day and on the one battery, which is great. Very, very happy about that. But yeah.
So what are you ending up with when you ride?
Oh,
After the day of riding on your battery? Like
it's almost dead because I will ride on mode 3 just to give me a little extra oomph because it is 14.8 miles each direction.
And this has 4 levels, right?
And this has 0 to 5 levels.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought mine only had 4.
0 to 5. Yeah. So I usually stay on 3. Tonight I was just riding on 1. We weren't going too fast.
Yes. Yeah,
But yes, I do have some accessories on here. I want to start in the back and move forwards. Yeah. In the back, the light comes with the Rad Mission, but I did add the fenders front and back, but the rear fender was a pain in the butt.
Super hard to
get on because you have to disassemble the back wheel and then put the fender on and then put the wheel back on. And you've got to be careful about the order of the nut and the washers.
Nuts, the big nut and the washers. And a lot of people get confused with the chain tensioner too, like where the chain goes.
Yeah. Oh, that was the other thing I was going to mention about the bike. It's only 1 speed, but because it's an electric bike, you essentially use the different gear, the amount of support power as your gears. And honestly, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that I don't have like a cartridge and stuff I have to like maintain.
Yeah, that's
there is a what's that thing you called?
It's called a chain tensioner.
A tensioner on here, so it does keep it tight, keep it nice and tensioned, but there aren't like gears and like levels of power that I have to deal with.
And this is an integrated hub motor.
Yes.
So it's not going to be on the crank or separate.
Disc brakes. I forgot to mention. I don't clean my disc brakes that often, so you'll hear me squeaking when I stop.
Right.
But yeah, the fender's great. I have rode in the not super rainy, but a little bit of mist, and it kept me clean, which is great. Mm-hmm. They are kind of cheap. They're plastic, and then there's some metal bars, but they do the job. Yeah. And then Lauren got me these extra Rad stickers that are reflective, that are fun.
They're fitted.
Moving forward, we've got the Rad kickstand.
Which is adjustable.
It's metal at the top and plastic at the bottom, but it is adjustable. Yeah. The plastic does feel a little cheap, but it gets the job done.
Right. And then you mentioned the disc brakes. The disc brakes, I think this is a 160 or 180 millimeter. It looks a pretty big disc. I'm going to say 160 millimeter. But it's cable. It's not hydraulic.
Correct.
So that is something else to maintain. You have to set that correctly. And the way Rad does it is they have like a little screw on one of the pads that you can kind of adjust the depth of it. And then, but they're okay. I would say that's probably one of the worst parts about the bike. And then kind of moving forward, you do have this rack.
This is the official Rad Mission rack.
Right.
It's only rated for like 50 or 75 pounds. So I'm not going to be carrying...
That's a ton of weight, though. Yeah.
But I'm not like Lauren's not going to sit on the back.
My kids have on mine.
Your kids would probably be fine.
I actually own this rack because when I bought my Rad Mission, I have the same bike.
Yeah.
But I have the low step version.
Yeah.
I have this rack, but I had it wasn't available when I got it because these were on like a fire sale, so they were like $500. It was incredible.
Amazing. I love it.
But no, these had sold out. But then they just like released a whole bunch of them again, and I jumped on it. Me and Scott did because I had bought a third-party rack, and my third-party rack is rated about the same, and it also uses these side mounts. These what they call boss holes.
It mounts up here.
Yeah, and so it has these like supports that go all the way to the front. So, and it also has like proprietary like pick-in cases.
Yeah.
So I'm torn about whether I should change it. This one looks so much nicer though.
It's very clean.
The bag is really nice.
It's very nice. Okay, so this bag, Lauren's mom got me this bag. It's not meant for this spot, but so I've got it. I've got both Velcro ties and bungee cord hook ties to keep it down. I got 1, 2, and then 1 in the front, so I've got 3. I don't have one in the back. Maybe I should put one on the back.
And then by meant for it, you meant like it doesn't click in or mate to it. Like
right, it doesn't mate to this. I think it's meant for the rack on, or for the little carrier on the front of your.
So what's cool about the carrier in the front? We'll get to that in a sec. But like the whole idea is like you can bungee anything to the rack, right?
Yeah.
And also like Rad does make pannier bags that work with this on the side, that clip on the side. So you do have that option. And the benefit of those is you can pull them off like a regular bag, and also keeps the CG, the center of gravity, a little lower.
Cool.
And even though you'd kind of ideally want it over near the crank, but and low, but
this it's a very cool insulated bag.
That's beautiful.
So I've got my helmet on right now.
Right.
I'll put my hat back here because I like to keep my bald head protected when I'm not. And then I'll put my helmet in here.
Right.
But I also have a backpack.
Rainfly, reflective rainfly type thing.
Yep, got my hat. I'll put that on, and then I've got the lock.
Yeah, because I noticed you have this Abyss wheel lock.
Yep. So moving forward, this is my lock system. I got this from you. You bought this. It didn't fit on your Rad Runner.
And I didn't want to put it on any of my road bikes because it's too clunky. But it's perfect for this.
Yeah. So I can attach.
With a single key.
With the single key, I can lock between the spokes if just in a pinch, if I'm just running in and grabbing something.
And this is just like what's on every one of, like, comes standard on like every like Dutch bike, like a Numafeets or Nopafeets.
Yeah. So, we saw so many of these in Amsterdam, and I was like, I need this, and then you had one, so I can just link this to itself.
Yeah, or what you do is you would do this, but around a pole as a third,
and then I can plug it into the lock.
Yeah, and then you slide that thing down or whatever, and then you pull the key and it's locked.
Yep.
The chain and the wheel in one go.
Yeah, it's great.
And you could even lock up your front wheel if you're worried. But
yeah, I'd put this around a pole, and then I'd go through my front wheel and then
plug the frame in through there.
Plug it in, and I'd be super locked up.
So what else do we have?
Yeah, moving forward.
I got you.
Oh, thank you. Let me turn. It went to sleep. So holding the menu button turns on the bike, and then holding up in menu turns on the light. Mm-hmm. I did get the upgraded LCD as per your recommendation. Yeah, very happy.
Worth every penny because it unlocks some additional control features. It gives you an odometer. It gives you an official speed reading. And
it unlocks the ability to have a higher top speed.
Right. You can.
That's what I was excited about.
It ships as a Class 2 e-bike. You can make it into a higher class e-bike. Which you're not supposed to. It depends on where, but here it's actually okay. But
some countries and states have caps, but California is cool.
Yeah, and then you have a bell.
Bell came with the bike. It's integrated into the brake.
Yeah, I'll show you mine after bringing my bike to the beach several times, and it's like clunk. It's dead. You also have the rear view mirror.
The rear view mirror,
super helpful.
I had to tighten. This gets loose.
Yes.
I've had to tighten it.
Mine gets super loose, and I just kind of live with it because we constantly fold it in because of where we put it in our garage.
Yeah.
So it sucks. And then I noticed you put this bottle holder, which is in a weird spot, but I understand.
I have the bottle holder here. I'm not happy about it. It is a handlebar bottle holder, but my mounting for the bottle holder is underneath.
Well, this is for a bag mount.
A bag.
These are called boss screws, but it's weird that they didn't put any on the verticals or on the horizontal or on the top bar.
So I
think it's because they don't want anything to wet the battery or anything like that. So it's an abundance of caution type situation.
And this only goes this direction, so I'm gonna figure out a way to like rotate it.
Yeah, we didn't bring Elise's bike, but we have it's a really fancy like little ring cup holder. It's just a ring, and you just kind of slide your coffee cup or whatever into it, and it holds it.
Nice.
And it's same thing, but we put hers in the front.
Oh yeah, maybe I'll flip. Well, there's not a lot
your
of
knees
room.
don't like get into.
I can.
Okay, yeah, because
but my clearance is just right.
Right.
And then the bike came with the front light.
This is the standard headlight.
This is the standard headlight. Now, supposedly there was like I was supposed to be able to attach it to the front of the bag. I couldn't find the like
extensions.
No, I had the extension cables, and also the back.
Yes.
With the rack. The rack came with an extension cable to put the light at the end of the rack.
And because I didn't buy because I bought a third-party rack, I didn't have the extension, so I had to buy one. I figured out what kind of cable it was and bought one.
Yeah, but I didn't have the mounting pieces to put this up here. So when I do put something here, I end up like blocking my light most of the time.
Yeah, so that's,
like this.
That's not
I can't, that bag on the front doesn't work great because it blocks the light.
Yeah, you need to solve that problem. That's important. Well, yeah. I mean, do you wear a headlamp or anything?
So I'll either wear, if I move that to the front, I'll wear a headlamp.
Maybe I'll convince you to, because it looks like you're about time for a new helmet.
Yeah.
And, but maybe I'll convince you to get mine because, first of all, it's MIPS and it's all the fancy new standard and the honeycomb and all that.
Yeah.
And it has a magnetic GoPro / headlamp mount on top, and then on the rear, so you can put a rear light and a headlight.
Cool.
And they're super nice helmets.
And I've seen the helmets that like have an integrated light.
Yeah.
As well. That's kind of cool.
That's cool though, because you could put any light, and pretty much GoPro mounts are on everything.
Yeah.
On all kinds of light accessories and stuff.
True.
But yeah, when you get this is what the mounting bracket would look like. This is the premium headlight, and you can get a premium headlight for this bike
for the holder.
And you see, there's a mounting hole right here.
There is. Oh, it's here.
Yeah, and it's a single bracket.
Yeah.
So that single bracket comes out just like the way it does on this one.
Okay.
And you can see it's substantially brighter. It really is worth every penny.
That's pretty bright. This gets. I can see.
It's a huge difference. When we ride back in the dark, you'll see because it's like yeah. So this is a 400. I don't remember what it is. If it's in watt hours, I think. I know mine's 500 and yours is 400.
504 watt hours.
So then I can't remember what mine is then, because I thought that one only had 400, but I guess not. Mine's a little bit bigger.
Is it?
Yeah, it's thicker.
Oh yeah, it is.
Heavier.
So what is this? This is the Rad.
This is the Rad Runner Plus. The previous generation. They just announced the new generation. I'm not even sure if they're shipping yet.
Yeah.
You can see my chain's rusty, which is bad.
Yeah, you've been riding
at the beach.
At the beach.
Takes 5 seconds. So even my rotors are rusty, my wheels are squeaky. And then I told you about my bell.
Yeah, what's your bell?
My bell, it doesn't go back. I have to push it.
Oh wow.
The beach.
That's salt water.
Beaches and bikes don't go well.
That's why you rent them. You rent them at the beach. Let someone else's bike.
Yeah, totally.
All right, so yeah, Rad Runner Plus.
So the Rad Runner Plus, they came out with a new one recently, and they've solved a lot of the problems that I had with this one.
Well, give me the overview of this one.
Yeah, let's talk about this one.
Let's talk about the new one after that.
So they have, it's big, beefy, I think they're 16-inch wheels.
Yeah.
Obviously, it's
like 6-inch.
Yes. Obviously, the wheel lock wouldn't fit over that size wheel, the Abyss wheel lock. But I do have an Abyss folding lock.
Yeah, the lobster crab style.
Yeah, those are fantastic. They're heavy.
Yeah.
And they, and all these locks are super easy to get through. But that one is a little bit harder. But you can take a bolt removal tool and just separate them. Anyway, so I have this one comes with front and rear fenders. That's part of the Plus.
Yeah.
And it also comes with the premium headlight.
Nice.
And then, unlike the regular Rad Runner, it does have a 7-gear cassette in the rear.
The regular Rad Runner is just one.
It's just like that. Just like
one
chain
gear.
tensioner, and you don't have to think about it.
I don't want the extra gears.
I do. I actually use them. Elise doesn't. She pretty much keeps it in fourth.
Yeah.
And treats it like a single speed.
Yeah.
So obviously your mileage may vary, and it doesn't have. It's got a single chain ring in the front. Which I'm glad, because you basically, like you said, I treat the gears like my front chain ring.
Yeah.
And treat the rear as my rear cassette, whereas you're kind of treating it as the whole gear system.
Yeah.
And they both work really well. Like yours, this one has disc brakes, but they're also cable.
Yeah.
Which is terrible. That's one of the, and it's got a bigger battery. I think it's 25% bigger than that battery.
Yeah, it is a bit bigger now that I look at it side by side.
But my battery would fit on yours.
Yeah, I could steal your extra.
Yeah, and then they just put the cool thing is like those batteries cost as much as the bike.
Right.
But they just put them on sale for half price for the Rad Mission size.
Yes.
And we snapped one up each really quickly because it just makes sense. I have something really cool on here called a Nog Scout, K-N-O-G.
That's this yellow dealio?
Yeah. And so I have vertical boss mounts, and there's also ones here. Yeah. So I can put a bottle.
I am jealous of that.
This is a much more utilitarian kind of do-it-all type bike. So I kind of get it. And this one, your bike, the Rad Mission, was, and I also have this bike because you couldn't.
Yeah, you got the lower step through.
Yeah. It's more of a do-it-all, like a bike for people who have ridden bikes and wanted something seamless to transition into.
That's it. Yeah.
Instead of something like whole hog like this.
This is like your whole life.
Yeah. So this Nog Scout charges with USB-C. It is an AirTag, basically.
Yeah, it's an AirTag that mounts on the bottle.
Yeah,
you could still
I can still mount my bottle and keep this hidden.
Which basically, hides a lot. I have, I forgot to mention, I have an AirTag hidden inside my bike.
Right.
And I did that, and then later that day you were like, oh no, you should have got this. And I was like, I should have, but now
But you don't have anywhere to mount it.
Yeah, on the bottom.
Oh yeah, you could put it on the bottom. Yeah, that's true. But I would still want to put something. Yeah, so this is cool. Because it works exactly like an AirTag. So you see it in Find My. It's MFI compatible. It is literally just like an AirTag with a USB-C rechargeable. Battery lasts way longer than the AirTag.
Yeah, I'll have to swap mine in a year.
But it's also bigger, so it's fair enough,
Yeah.
It's great. I have it on all my bikes now. I've got 5 bikes, so it fits on all of them. And then this one has front shocks, which is great.
Yeah, Lauren rode the Rad Mission last weekend for the first time, like in earnest, and she was like, "There's no shocks in this." I'm like, "Nope."
Yeah, and then
what
I would do is it feels like your wheels are super tight.
Yeah.
She doesn't need this much air in them, so I would pull 5 pounds out of these when she rides.
Yeah.
She may not actually have too much extra rolling resistance either way.
Right.
So in other words, it may not make a difference. It may not cause so much drag that it's like painful because she's on an e-bike anyway.
Right.
But also it'll be more appropriate for her, and she'll have a much more comfortable ride. So consider that.
Yeah.
I don't know where you keep your wheels at, but this is really tight.
I like it.
Yeah. So the whole idea of like riding comfort and rolling resistance, like a lot of people who grew up on bikes for like in the old days, like prior to the last 10 years.
Yeah.
Will typically ride with their bikes real tight like this.
That's me.
Now that the whole tubeless revolution has come in,
it's
all about higher volumes and lower air pressure. For lower, it actually, in some ways, depending on your situation and your weight and your bike and your tires, can actually lower the rolling resistance overall.
Interesting.
Meaning you'll have less friction, so you'll have fewer watts to achieve the same amount of work. Right? So that's kind of the whole future of bicycles right now. And the benefit is, since you're riding, you're running a lower air pressure.
Yeah.
Your ride comfort is vastly increased.
Yeah.
So especially when you're on like fancy road bikes that are just incredibly uncomfortable in other ways, it could be very, very beneficial. So you'll also notice I have my road pedals here.
Yeah.
But I have these little clips that go in.
And just kind of flatten it out.
Yeah, because on my road bike I ride SPDSL, which I think your dad rides as well, and your brother rides Looks. No, he rides the Wahoo Speed Plate ones.
I don't.
Yeah.
Just give me flat. I'm just going to wear my Chucks or my Docks.
Keo looks a lot like SPDSLs. But anyway, the point is I have these little inserts that make them into flats.
Yeah.
So I just have the option if I want to wear riding shoes or not. But yeah, I almost always use it flats. And then I actually have a cadence sensor on here.
Oh.
Simply because I had an extra one because my other bike has integrated one.
Yeah.
And then
were these pegs? Were these
part of it? These come with it.
These come with the plus. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, and then the plus also has these like big clear guards that I took off, so that your kids don't get their feet in the chain or the spokes.
Your kids are smart enough not to do that.
And then it comes with the rear seat.
Yeah, I need
which is really nice.
I guess maybe I should get a seat. Lauren's just outside of the capacity.
No, she would fit. Yeah. I mean, think about we watch people riding 3 up on like an Unifeeds, you know, so it's like one in the middle, one in the front, one in the back.
Yeah.
So it's not a big deal. But yeah, and then I've got the front basket.
Yeah, this came with the Rad Runner as well by the Rad Runner Plus by default.
No,
you had to get the front basket.
I added the front basket.
Oh, okay.
And then my bag is a little different than yours.
Yeah, I like it. Yours is like a doctor bag.
Yeah, and then it comes up, and you know all the fancy bags now they're like roll tops.
Yep.
You know?
Yep.
So
I'm thinking of getting something like that for the front of this, but I'll have to figure out my light situation.
So this one rolls, and then also this is what we use for groceries.
Yeah, that's great.
So and sometimes we have it like packed to the brim, so it's like wide open.
Yeah.
But because it buckles in.
It buckles right into the.
Yeah, we never.
Because you've got this like extra top section that I don't have.
Yeah, but
I wish I had.
But there's benefits and detriments to both. So for example, like I was carrying my umbrella on my bike once.
Yeah.
And because it's a basket, there's really nowhere to put it. Flat racks, like these flat front racks, the whole benefit of them is you can carry odd loads.
Yeah.
Like you probably wouldn't, but you could carry a guitar case on here.
Yeah.
You know, but that's what people do. Like literally.
But I'd be more likely put it on the back.
Because you have that. But you do have options. Like whereas in a basket, you're limited to the basket or mounting stuff on top. Which, slides around.
The umbrella you could slide through.
Yeah, it didn't work. It didn't work.
No.
It would have worked better on that situation. Plus it would have been easier to tie in that situation. But so that's all about being able to carry like irregular loads.
Yeah.
And then of course, you know, you can
Did you send me the video of the guy trying to like mount a TV on the back of his motorcycle?
No, but I've seen all kinds of stuff like that. Yeah.
Goofy.
And then you have holes here that you can mount proprietary baskets on and other things that this is the small and it doesn't have holes that work with this. No, it doesn't. But this is the small. They make a large one and they make a large one that goes in the back here. That gives you, I think it would work on that. That gives you a huge cage in the back.
Amazing.
And it does, I think, fit on that Rad rack.
I'd love to try the Rad trailer. If anyone from Rad Power is listening to this, I'd love to try the Rad trailer with the like animal thing on the canopy on the back. Give me a call if you want to let me try it out, because I would love to try.
Right. And because this is a Plus, it also came with the upgraded LCD.
By
default.
Nice.
And then I added this phone holder.
That's,
and the phone holder, it's super slick. So it just stays like that. And then...
Who's that from?
I think this was on Rad's site.
Oh, was it?
These phone holders. Yeah, it's like Glib, I don't know, GL8, glue face, I have no idea.
It's very stylized.
GUB, but it's metal.
Yeah, that's nice.
And it's very handsome, and it stays really well.
Because the other ones I've seen are like plastic and bungee or silicone stretchy stuff.
Right.
Not the same.
And so, this bike is awesome.
It's very cool.
It's so utilitarian. We take the kids all around.
When you and Elise got these, I was like, man, I got to get something. If not this, like something from Rad. And I was so glad they did the Rad Mission sale.
And then the other thing that it came with was the upgraded version of the Rad kickstand. And you can see how much beefier it is. And it's also adjustable too.
That is beefy. Yeah.
So it's,
But I don't, mine wouldn't mount onto my bike.
Are your holes different?
Yeah, my holes are different.
Maybe. And I forgot how to adjust it, but adjust it. There's a
tab or something.
It's a screw right here. Yeah, it's an Allen key. It's an Allen screw. Whereas yours, you can just flick it.
Yeah, there's just a little plastic latch.
So frankly, I'd rather have that, but this one is a little bit beefier. So both my kids fit on the back seat.
Amazing.
They both
hang on, and
they hang on, and also
You said you were taking your kids to school every morning.
Yeah,
are you still doing that?
We haven't done it much during the winter, and plus I've been traveling.
Yeah,
but now that the season's coming back, absolutely
warming up. Hey, you just bundle them up and strap them on.
We were at the beginning, but then it got wet.
Yeah. It was raining all.
And it's fine. Like if I was in a different country with better infrastructure, maybe I would do that. But like even in the wet, but not here.
Not here.
It's just not safe.
So this is the Plus version. What do you not get in the Plus version if you're just looking at the regular Rad Runner?
Yeah, the Rad Runner is actually pretty cool because it's just like a frame. Yeah. So it's way lighter, and it's a little bit more of a blank slate.
No seat.
No premium seat, that leather and all that. It's just the frame.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if you get the fenders. I can't remember. I don't think you get the fenders. No rear view mirror. No upgraded LCD. You get the same size motor. You don't get a rear cassette with 7 gears. So it's a simpler bike in every way. Yeah. In fact, it'd probably be great for you.
Yeah, but I'd still put a lot of that stuff back on it.
You might put a basket and the premium light because you don't get the premium light. But then you'd have that bare back, so you might put a hard rack in there, or just a seat, and because I can still bungee stuff on. So maybe the Plus would work. But there's a new version of the Plus.
So Rad has just released the version 3. This is technically the version 2.
I think so.
So it's the Rad Runner 3.
Yeah.
What have they fixed with the 3?
So my biggest complaint about this bike, hands down, is the braking.
Yeah.
The brakes, there's a retrofit. Some bike company sells a retrofit kit to switch out these brakes to switch them to hydraulic.
Cool.
And I know some people hear hydraulic, especially if you know anything about bikes, like hydraulic can actually sound scary because if you're like a old school cyclist or something, and you're used to maintaining your own stuff and you understand cables and adjustments, hydraulics sound like a whole level of complexity, but they actually remove a ton of complexity. And it actually goes the same with disc brakes because a lot of old school guys prefer rim brakes.
Yeah.
But rim brakes aren't good on carbon wheels. If you have fancy wheels, they're not good in wet weather.
Yeah.
So disc brakes can handle a lot more load. You can get bigger sizes, so you get more leverage. There's a lot of benefits to them. Rim brakes are nice and integrated, so
right. Yeah, cool. It's just you're squeezing the tire and making it stop.
Yeah, or squeezing the rim, wheel. Yeah, but so it has the new battery system. All their bikes now have a new battery. Yes. It's narrower, longer, and it's a little bit more dense.
It's sleek in the body too. Yeah.
I think it's still a 750. Oh yeah, that's another thing. Yours has a 500 watt. Mine has a 750 watt motor.
Yeah. They kept that in the version 3.
But I think it's a higher torque motor, if I'm not mistaken. And also the accessory lineup is a little bit different. Like I don't know if it comes with the seat anymore, the Rad Runner Plus, but you can accessorize it it's a little bit more of a blank slate that you can buy a package when you check out.
Trick it out, yeah.
Including that trailer, which is super awesome. But yeah, I would say those are the biggest differences. Otherwise, it's the same kind of like idea. But yeah, I think the hydraulic brakes alone are a huge benefit. I'm not sure about the components. This is Shimano Altus, which is like good entry level components. Like the rear derailleur, what's nice, they put a cage over it, because you don't want to rear derailleurs. So
yeah, you've got the cage, and this is your derailleur.
Yeah, so this is your rear mech that goes back and forth over the cage, and then there's this thing called a derailleur hanger. And the whole point of this is that if you damage this, their derailleur hanger is the part that bends.
Yeah.
And it takes all the pressure.
And you could replace that easily without.
But the problem with rear derailleur hangers is that they're proprietary for every single frame.
So you'd have to get.
So when I ordered this bike, I asked Rad Service if they could send me 2 extra rear derailleur hangers. But you don't have to worry about it too much because they have a cage over it, which is good.
I think even, my very first mountain bike, I remember it having kind of a cage.
Yeah, and now mountain bikes, SRAM, the fancy brand like Shimano, SRAM, they came out with a new rear derailleur that eliminates the derailleur hanger for the first time. And it has, like, the pulleys have these fancy, it's like this pulley that, you see the teeth on the outside?
Yeah.
If it gets a stick in it, the pulley on the interior can stop where the stick is, but the teeth can rotate around the pulley independently. Wow. So it's like a pulley on a pulley, like a meta pulley. And then it has all this like fancy mechanism that is sealed and way more durable. So I'm looking forward to that kind of stuff. But a lot of bikes like this will also have hub gears. But they can't do that because the hub motor's there. Yes. So the hub gear would be like a system that eliminates all this complexity and does all the shifting internally and very smoothly, and in some cases infinitely, kind of like a CVT. But the hub gears can be really, really useful for people who don't like messing with gears or want lower maintenance. But I don't mind any of this. Yeah. So
back to the Rad Runner Plus, would you upgrade to the 3 if you have a 2?
No.
No, sticking with the 2.
No, it's not worth it. Because I have 3 bikes that all run the same battery. You run the same battery.
Yes.
We can share all that. Scott runs the same battery. Yeah. Not that we're going to ride, to Scott, but nevertheless.
The East Coast.
Yeah.
Maybe someday.
But he's got it. Like, we can all share this stuff,
Yeah.
So like, let's say you want to sell it and Scott wants it for his kids or whatever.
Yeah.
Like,
ship it to
you know,
him.
he'll have the same battery set up and all that. So it's not worth it to upgrade, but it's
if you're
very
buying
compelling.
one for the first time, they still sell the Rad Runner
Yes.
Plus 2. They have the 3. The 3 is probably the better buy if you're not already in the ecosystem.
Yeah, and that's the thing. We're heavy in the ecosystem now. We got literally 4 or 5 bikes between us all, so
Yeah.
it's worth it to keep it.
Cool. So that is the Rad Mission and the Rad Runner Plus, the second generation. We love these bikes. If you want to get a Rad Power bike, they've given us a discount code. It's down in the doobly-doo. They change kind of what's on a deal, so check out the website, type in the discount code up front, and then see what they're offering as a deal for that month. And it helps this channel if you do that. We'd really appreciate it, and we thank Rad Power for hooking us up with the code.
Really cool then.
And if you have any questions, leave them down in the comments. We'll take a look at them and maybe answer them in a future video. We love our e-bikes, and we are going to keep riding them. Let's head out.
Peace.
Peace.